Welcome aboard this live launch with Hunky Dory TV. The crafting captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign and we are now cleared for takeoff. In preparation for launch, please ensure all of your troubles and worries are properly stowed. You won't be needing those today. Our flight time will be a craft-filled 60 minutes or more, and the Hunky Dory crew are now ready for departure. At this time, we ask you to sit back, relax, and enjoy our video presentation. Live launch takeoff in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have live launch liftoff.
Good morning everyone, happy Wednesday and welcome to this live launch on Hunky Dory TV. It's a really exciting launch because it's a product that we absolutely love and it's one that I know that we all wait for coming every single year. It is our Christmas Decollage collection and we are very excited to bring it to you today. And with me doing all the demonstrations to show you just how you can get the most out of your kit is the lovely Rachel.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rachel. Do you like Decollage, don't you?
Yes, I love it. It's just amazing.
I think, what do you think is special about Decollage though? Why is it different from toppers?
I think because you can do so much with it, like you've got like 3 different elements to it.
Yeah.
And you can like build onto your card, and you've got your big toppers, you can cut them down. There's just so much that you can do.
It is true. With all of these kits that we bring out to you, we say as a basic that you can make 24 decolages, but there's so many little tips and tricks that we know and that we want to share with you today of how you can make more than 24 cards, how you can mix and match all of your elements to get the most out of it. So it's really, really exciting that we're going to be able to share that with you. This today only is your last chance to get hold of any of those Christmas in July goodies. So there's loads that you can get here. So with every single order you place up until midnight tonight, you're going to get the free Frosty Friends element sheet, and that has all the really cute animals on. If you spend over £25, then you're also going to get that element sheet, plus you're going to get inserts and cardstock that matches alongside it. And then if you spend over £40, which I can promise you a lot of people will be doing today, then you're also going to receive the double-sided paper pad, which is pretty cool. We love that here. So any orders that you place up until midnight tonight, or if you're really lucky, up until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, because that's when Hannah turns it off. So you get a little, maybe 8 hours there, which you can do some overnight shopping if you wake up. Then bear that in mind, but it is the last day that you're going to be able to get this, and make sure that you do, because that is a really nice collection. Our Win It Weekly this week, what is it? Let's see. Oh no, it's not going to work. Do we have it written down anywhere? Let's see. We don't have it written down. We'll try and fix these issues. However, if you do win the Win It Weekly competition this week, we're back. We're back. There we go. Okay, so if you do win the Win It Weekly competition this week, you are going to be in with the chance of winning these 3 topper pads. Oh, it says it includes 4. I've only got 3 here. Are we missing one? What's happened here? It's going to include 4 of these topper pads.
So even better.
Even better. You're going to get an extra one, and they are worth £36. There's 3 lucky people that are going to win these pads. But all you need to do is like, share, and comment on this video. Queen Elizabeth II is a trained bricklayer, nurse, or mechanic. This is a good question, actually, and I do know the answers to this one. I think a lot of people will probably know the answers to this one as well, especially if they sort of follow the royal family. You'll know this one as well. What a good question, though.
Please say that she's a bricklayer.
No, I don't think it is actually, but it would be cool, wouldn't it?
Just building the houses.
So all you have to do, could you imagine?
I love that image.
just the Queen with like a high-vis jacket on,
with a topper, with
a
crown
on
on top.
just laying some bricks.
Oh,
It would
love it.
that is a great image, but no. So like, share and comment with your answers to win these Popper Topper pads and an extra one, which we don't know where it's gone. But that is your Win It Weekly competition this week, and we will announce the winner as always on Friday's show. So let's have a look at this week's today. Let's have a look at today's launch. It is our Decollage collection. Look at all of this. Look at it. It's crazy. This whole selection is going to come home to you. Like that, it's madness. I use quite a lot of this stuff for my demos at Telly and for making up decollage, and I've still got loads left over. It's crazy, but this is your ultimate decollage collection. So you are going to save £10 by getting it in this bundle. It's $39.97. So in here you're going to get 24 element sheets. There's 12 designs, which you're going to get 2 of each. Then you're also going to get 12 of the bases, and they include 2 bases for you to make up. And on top of that, you've got 24 coordinating cardstocks, which you can use as card blanks, or you can cut into and do lots of different things with. Then we've got the inserts, 36 inserts. You've got 12 designs which match up perfectly with all your decollage, and included in that you're going to get 3 of each. So you can see there you've got more inserts than kit. So if we cut into that, we're going to be able to make more, we're going to be able to use those inserts. You can also use the inserts with the little book, because the little book is included in this collection. That little book of 144 pages, 24 designs, 6 of each sheet. So there's so much crafting potential to be had here. It's amazing. There's absolutely loads of it. I know it looks crazy and really, really cool like this, and I wish we could show you through it all, but it's just so big. We're going to have to go back over to the other set, and we'll have a little in-depth look at all of those toppers. Let's do this. So, like I said, you've got 12 different designs, and I think the designs in here are a really nice mix of like contemporary artwork, classic Christmas artwork. You've got religious themes in here. You've got things that would definitely suit for families, suit for children. You've got things that would suit for all different age ranges, which I think is a really nice addition to this collection. So how it works, how it's sort of built out, is that you have base layers, which are these here. So on here you have sort of like your toppers, as you would say, which you build up all of your elements onto. You've also got a variety of different sentiments. There we go. Thanks, Rach. I was looking at that light. I know what that is, but I can't say it right now.
What is this?
And then you've got border strips included as well. So you get 2 each of them. Then you've got your cardstock, which you can see has the same image on here. Got some lovely different patterns as well. And then you get your element sheets. So these are all foiled and die cut. So you've got accent foiling on every single layer, which means if you don't want to use them all, you don't have to. If you want to mix and match them, you can do as well. But these element sheets fit onto the image here on the cardstock, which means if you don't want to use your base layers, you don't have to. You can go straight onto your cardstock and you can save these base layers as just standard toppers, make more cards, get more stuff done. But it makes a beautiful image, this one, and this is a fantastic card that Jane's made. I'm going to have to pop these down so I can show you. It is a little pull-out card. So if you pull these sides out, you have the image in the background. It's a really cool idea. Great for kids because they're going to love opening this, seeing the little image in there that you've got. What a fantastic idea that Jane's created there. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. So that's your first topper set with the bear on. Let's pop this over here. Then we've got a more of a contemporary feel here with the Christmas roses. And this one's really pretty. So you've got, again, more border strips, more elements on that layer. Then you've got your cardstock, which is really, really pretty. Really nice for gatefolds, I think, on this one, Rach.
Yeah, because you can cut into the flowers.
Or making little fold backs, possibly, cutting into it, getting quite creative. And then you've got all of these little elements which build
so many like different elements on that sheet.
There's loads, isn't there? Which build up that beautiful 3D flower effect that you can see on this card here. It's really, really pretty. Next up, we've got classic Santa lugging all of the presents across the roofs there. So you've got your base layers, you've got your cardstock, which again is a really nice design for maybe DL cards, and just layering up Santa straight onto here for making square cards and having nice little border edges on as well. So you get 2 each of everything that we have here, and there are your element sheets. There's a range of different sentiments as well, which I think is really nice because it means it's going to fit for lots of different occasions, lots of different people that you could send this to. But look at the dimension on this.
That's lovely.
There's something so special about Decollage. I mean, I think instantly you've got a really expensive sort of card made up that if you're someone who makes to sell, then you're going to be able to make quite a bit here with these cards. So you've got this, the next one as well, which is a festive food, which has all the, it makes me hungry, this one actually.
I know.
And I don't even like Christmas pudding, but it's making me think of pigs in blankets, Yorkshire puddings,
massive
gravy.
Turkey.
So nice.
Only a couple of months to go.
I know. It'll be round before we know it. And then this one has been made into a really nice stepper. So you can see there how that stepper sort of sits up against there. I think both cardstocks have been used to create this card actually. Yeah. And then you've got that element sheet in the background. So that's that one. Then for the more religious people in the family, we have the nativity, which is beautiful. I love the colours in this as well.
The colours are really
The colours are so pretty. So many different sentiments on here. Let's have a look at some. We've got season's greetings. Oh, come let us adore him. May the spirit of Christ fill our homes with joy and love. So loads of really nice sentiments there if you want to be less religious when you're sending this one out, or if you want to you know, bring across the true meaning of Christmas, you can do that here as well. And I really like how you can make super little tiny cards with this. It's really, really cute. Then we've got another iconic image, Santa running off in his sleigh. This again is a great one. This one, with the way that it's designed, is perfect for just scoring down the centre and actually using this as your whole card blank if you wanted to. But all of those beautiful layers on there really come to life and show sort of how Santa is just flying off into the moon there after delivering and dropping off all of his presents. Then you've of course got your snowmen, because you can't do Christmas decollage without snowmen, and this one's really nice for giving to new families, neighbours, maybe someone's had a new addition to the family. This one's going to be perfect for them. And then you've got your layers which all layer up. Another thing that's really nice with this decollage, and I mentioned it yesterday on Create and Craft, is that every single decollage in here is a different shape. So you've got circles, you've got rectangles, you've got labelled shapes. Not one of them is the same, which is really, really nice. You've got the church choir there outside the church with the beautiful sort of really nice purple background in there with all the snow falling. And this one looks really, really nice as well. There's another Really nice example of how you can use that card. Then this one, we've got the little boy lugging all of his presents through the town. I can imagine us having to do this if it snows quite heavily.
Hopefully it does.
One time this year. If it's not lugging presents, it'll be trying to get your car up to the top of the hill so you can get down it again. But this one's really, really nice. So much space as well, with the background with the beautiful sort of snow fall imagery, which if I hold it close, you might be able to see there. It's just really light sort of big snowflakes in the background. Then again, you've got those layering elements, so you can make some really nice images. And you can see how all the team have used their different sentiments. They've used the extra border strips that you get included in here. This one is another, I just feel like this is the inside of a snow globe.
Yeah, especially like the shape of the topper as well.
It's just filled with snow. It's very atmospheric. You've got the lights in there. You can tell that it's quite warm and cozy, even though, you know, it's snowing, so it's going to be absolutely freezing. But it's really, really nice. Again, if all of the cardstock contains the imagery, but also it has really nice textures, details, artwork on the opposite side. So if you want to keep the cards quite plain, or you want to mix and match them, then you have the ability to do that. But for just making quite small cards and using up little bits of your cardstock, maybe you've just got a tiny little bit left over, you can make some really effective things with this. And this is another, I keep saying this is my favourite, but I really like this one as well, with the little door there. I love decorating my house for Christmas, so this one, I think that's why I like this one so much. You've got like the classic railings, haven't you? You've got some really nice sentiments. What have we got on this one? Especially for you, there's no place like home at Christmas. That's so true. From our home to yours. Then you've got your cardstock, which you can build your image straight onto if you wanted to. Fold that over, you've got a card straight away. Maybe create some fold backs, some fancy folds with this one. And then all of your element sheets, and then there's some extra sentiments on here as well, because we like to fill all the spaces. So we've got a gift for you, and then we've got with love and best wishes, happy Christmas, and then you've got a little tag here as well with that front door on, if you want to embellish it further. It looks really, really cute. It's so nice. I really, really like that one. And then finally, we are nearing the end of our 12 decolages. We have, this one is the Toy Shop Treasures, and in here you've got that really sort of, this is an iconic Christmas image, I think. Something that you can imagine on a massive Christmas jigsaw that's going to take you the whole month to figure out. But it's got the kids peeping through the window, and I can imagine that there's a Santa Claus, a mechanical Santa Claus singing that goes on and on and on forever, and the shopkeeper by the end of December just wants to throw it out the window. But that one is really nice, and look at all the accent foiling on here. No sort of space has been wasted here. Every single piece on this collection is all accent foiled, apart from your cardstocks. Is all foiled, which means you can make so much, you can adapt your pieces. You don't just have foiling on the top layer and then the rest of it is blank. It's all foiled for you, so you can pick and choose how far you go with layering these up. And oh, I love this. Add in some snowfall acetate to this one.
That's
creating
really
that
nice.
bow. It's really, really pretty. So that is your topper collection. So it's $29.99 if you just get the topper collection, which is going to come down if you are in the club. But for an extra £8, an extra £9 maybe just over £9, you can get all of this, and you can get your inserts, which I'll just move these cards off so I can find them. You're going to get your inserts, which are really nice sort of versions of that cardstock. They're on 160 GSM, which means you can pop these through your printer. They're going to fit through any printer, so you can print your own messages on here. Maybe you're making a card for your a grandchild or a friend. You want to write a little verse in here. Maybe you want to stamp on here. We've got some sentiment stamps coming up at the weekend actually, which are really good and are going to be great for stamping onto your inserts. But if you are someone who likes stamping as well and you want some Christmas backgrounds, then you can cut this down, you can stamp onto it, you can colour on top using using your watercolour pencils or something that's not going to seep into it. But they are beautiful, really, really nice thickness as well. There's no sort of thin insert here. They're great for adding in, and they're going to add so much more value as well to your cards. So they're £9.99, or if you just pay this and that, then you're going to get your little book for free. Because this is your little book. Have we got it? There we go. The Joy of Christmas. So the little book is on its own. Is it $9.99? Yeah. So you're getting the little book free by buying the Ultimate Bundle pretty much, or you're getting the inserts for free, whichever way you want to look at it. But this is a really, really great little book. It has all of the artwork that you see throughout the collection in sort of smaller or little snippets, as I like to say, little zoomed in versions of all the action. You've got some different elements in here as well that you're going to be able to snip into. You're going to be able to make extra toppers. Maybe you're using a topper but you want the little snowman as an embellishment, then you can trim him out of here, pop him onto the side of your card. You've got some really nice versions of the artwork in different layouts, which I like. Also some different colours. So you've got the Christmas rose in blue, but further down you've got it with a green background. You've got that choir there, the children in the toy shop, that lovely house again that we've seen. Then you've got sort of like a more zoomed in version of the teddy bear that we saw earlier on. We've got the children at the toy shop again, but super zoomed in, so you can definitely fussy cut that out. Maybe it's for your grandchildren and that image really reminds you of them. We've got the house there, which is a little bit wider in case you wanted to make some DLs sort of on the side. We've got the Christmas pudding in here, of course. There's that Christmas rose in that other colourway. Then you've got your nativity scene just focusing on Mary and Joseph there. Then your choir scene, and then you've got the beautiful image of the snow scene. On this one, because you can't see it as closely on the actual topper, but you can see the little snowman just peeking through here, and then another snippet of that really happy snow family that we have here. So each sheet you get 6 of each image. So if you want to create your own decoupage, you have the ability to do that. If you want to use your dies, maybe do some pyramage or invertage, you're going to be able to do that as well. The possibilities of crafting with a little book are endless, and I'm sure everyone in the comments will tell you that. For charities, these are really good. I think crafting with kids, this is really good. So if you're someone who crafts for yourself, you're going to get this decollage. Get this in as well, because you can be making the Christmas cards with the kids to take to school. They can be just adding these onto a little mirror mat, putting a sentiment on from our Essential Book of Sentiments, and all your children's school cards, they're done.
Yeah, and there's so many different kids in the class.
Yep,
Perfect.
and they've helped make them, which is even more fun. So that is your ultimate collection, everything that you will get included in this kit. There's so much more to show you, but before we go to all of that, let's go over to Rachel and see exactly what you can do when you get your decollage home.
So I'm going to do an 8x8 card, and we're just going to use the Deco-Large kit for this. So first of all, I'm just going to cut down my mirror mat and also my cardstock. So this is just going to be quite a quick card, because what I really like about Decollage as well is that the images they just make the card. So you can do your cards quite simple and they still look absolutely stunning. So we're just going to cut down that cardstock as well, just to fit on top. And I'm just going to use some construction glue just to stick this together, so that while we're looking at the base layer, that can dry. If I can get it out. So we're just going to stick that to the gold mirror. And we've just cut it down, so it's just a little thin border of gold just round the edges, and I'm just going to quickly just pop that onto my card blank as well. And then we're going to start putting our topper together. So we put that to one side. So we're using the Father Christmas set, and I've already put all my foam pads on the back just to save time. So that's something that you could do, and then
I think it's such a good idea to do that when you get it home. And even if you want to go the extra mile and you want to pop all of the bits out and then put them in a little bag, then you're ready to go.
Definitely.
And then say, I don't know, maybe you're going away for the weekend.
Oh yeah.
And you want to do a little bit of crafting while you're there.
Just put
and
them
you
in
can
your bag.
just pop that in your bag and you're ready to go. You can build up those elements because you have everything there and ready to craft with.
And especially if you are like crafting with kids, like then they might not want to or have the concentration to actually sit there and put loads of foam pads.
It's very true.
Right, so we're going to use all of our base, all of our little decoupage for this one. But we're going to put some on the top and we're going to put some onto our cardstock. Right, so we'll put that to one side. So I'm going to put...
There's so many people joining us today, so hi to everyone who is joining us, who's commented in the messages. Everyone has said how much they really love Decollage. It's one of their favourite things they wait for.
I think quite a lot of people have been like really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I think Christmas is probably the most special launch that we do here with Decollage. I mean, some of the decolages we bring out are phenomenal. You've got some really nice different images. We've always got the floral ones, which everyone loves, but Christmas
I do love the floral ones.
Definitely is on top because it's just so fun. It's really, really nice.
Especially this year, I feel as though that there's not like an actual theme. I feel as though it's like just Christmas.
It's just Christmas. Everything that we thought would work perfectly, we've thrown in there, and it does. It works really nicely, and it's so totally different as well from the artwork that we've seen in other collections, which is really nice and refreshing. It's a brand new images that have been used in all of the 12 designs that you see here, but they're just so much fun. Are you mix and matching, Rachel?
Yes, I am, yeah. So I've stuck
this.
some little bits onto the one on the cardstock, and then I've put some onto the topper.
I love this.
So
I think it's a really good way of using lots of different pieces, isn't it?
And you've got so much left from it. So if you just had that as your card,
if
and
you
like
had
just added a sentiment,
if you had that on your card,
perfect.
add a sentiment, it's gonna look amazing already, isn't it?
It definitely is.
But mixing and matching it, having that image on both elements, it's really nice, and having different decolages so they look a little bit different is nice as well. You've got all those different elements to work with.
And there's so many different sentiments as well. So
it's just a really universal kit,
isn't it? It really
is,
yeah.
No matter who you're crafting for, there's something for everyone in this kit. And if you're making for different age groups, there's different sentiments that are going to fit for them. And if you can't find a sentiment in the collection that you want to use, then you know that you've got your little book, your Christmas book of essential sentiments, and something's going to fit.
Definitely. So I've just took one of the little border strips. Now we're going to put it along that green dotty line. Now because our card is 8x8, it won't fit all on. So I've just cut it down because our topper's going to cover this. Just stick it on there just to give that bit of gold foiling on that part as well. So he is going to go there. So we're going to just stick him down with just some construction glue. You could use foam pads if you wanted to give it that extra depth, but I think we've got quite a lot in our decoupage bit. So just make sure that he's straight. And then...
And another thing that I like about Decollage, I'm not sure if you're the same, Rach, because we do have our decoupage books where you cut all the images out.
Oh, yes.
And it's really nice, and you can make some really beautiful images in the Decollage books. And it's classic decoupage, that, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
What I like about this is that it's so less fiddly.
Oh, it definitely is.
It's really easy to work with. So if you're someone who struggles with doing decoupage because of the small elements that you get, then you're going to be fine with this. You're not going to have those problems at all because they're really nice sizes, all of the little elements that you've got. Also, you don't have to use it all.
No, I've kept some, like his little hands, but
so you don't have to use all of the little pieces if you don't want to. It's completely down to you how you build these up, but they are going to look amazing no matter what you use, no matter what you do. It's going to look really fun. This looks really nice. I love how you've added that little border down the centre so to sort of break up the two images even more.
So you use quite a lot of different stuff on this.
It looks really good though.
And of course, any great card needs a bow on it.
It's very true.
So we're going to just do a little red bow. And then we'll put that on the side. Oh, I can actually cut it. Right. And we'll just put some construction glue just on the back, just to hold it. And then if you've got your sentiments as well, then you could put, not your sentiments, your inserts, and you could put your insert inside.
And that's
a very special card.
I love how it's so different, and using all those different elements on the different Santas makes him stand out on both elements really well. I love it. It's such a really nice way of using it. And it just shows you that no matter where you put the elements, whether you do it on the cardstock, whether you do it on the bases, there's so much variety that you can be creating here. So let's have a look at some of the other things that we've got on the show, because when you make your decollage, obviously they do fit into envelopes. We do sort of test that here at the office, but if you want to make sure that nothing is getting squished, nothing is getting sort of taken off or moved apart, then we also have our handmade card boxes, and these are really cool. So we do them in rectangles and we do them in squares. They sort of work out at 6x6 squares and A5 in the rectangle ones, and they're deep enough, and you can see here that they're deep enough that you can fit your decollage in here. You can decorate these up with your spare elements if you want to, maybe your little books, your inserts as well. You can decorate them up, then you can maybe add a little sticker to the front, pop that in the post, and away you go. You've got your envelopes there ready to go. You're going to get 12. There's 6 squares, 6 rectangle for £7.99. Now if you're someone who likes those and you love making your decollage, but you like making the decollage as more home decor projects, then we've also got our Decollege Box Frames. And these are exactly the same. You've got 6x6 and A5 in size, and they're really, really simple to make. They're so quick and easy, and you get lots of different elements. So this is how they look when they're finished. You can see there you've got space for your image to go through. If you wanted to put acetate on the front of here, you could. You've got really nice foiling detail, quite simple foil detail on the outside, and then you also get a stand which you can attach so that they sit nicely on the mantelpiece. So in here you get a mixture of gold and silver. These are the fronts of the frame. So you've got the frame edged here, you've got different sentiments if you want to use them, and then you've got your stand just in the corner, you can see there, and it's all die cut for you, all scored. All you have to do is pop it out. So you've got them in silver, you've got them in gold, you've got a really large amount of each. I think you get 6. I think you get 6, 3 of each colour I think you get in there. And then these are sort of the nets, as you would, to make the backs of your frames, and you can see all scored. All you have to do is stick red tape or glue of your choice onto these end elements. You roll them into each other and it creates this frame then you just stick on top either this frame, or you can cut it down from the cardstock so it all matches. They're super, super easy to use. £11.99. If you're buying the Decollage today, I definitely recommend that you get these in your baskets too, because Christmas Decollage is something that you can use as a home decor project. You can have lights in the back of them. You can bring it out year after year to decorate the house. So definitely consider adding them to your basket, because whether you are making as gifts, whether you're making to sell, it's going to add an extra element to your card, to your makes, to your projects, and you're going to be able to charge a little bit more as well if they are something like that home decor project. Then we've got some new essentials, which is really, really fun. The first is our Festive Parchment selection. Now, if you have been following us this year, you know that we've brought out our printed, I think it was colourful parchment?
Yeah,
what is it?
Pastel.
The pastels, isn't it? Pastel parchment. This is our Festive Parchment, and it's a lot darker in sort of the way it is. So I'm holding it up against a white background here, so you can see that it is still quite translucent. If you're going to emboss on here, it's going to bring out the white centre from this paper, and it's going to look amazing. So we've got you've got the black, you've got the royal purple, which is really, really nice.
That really matches your dress.
I know, I was thinking that then. Then you've got this beautiful royal blue. We've got red in here. So if your Christmas gifts and things, this is going to look really nice. If you're someone who likes to use dyes and you like to create your backgrounds from parchment, you can do. We've got white included in there, that is essential. Then we've got the green, the holly green. This is a great Christmas green.
Nice. That is a great one. That's like your classic Christmas
it's
green.
classic, isn't it? Then we've got some more contemporary colours. So we've got the sky blue for all those snowy scenes, of course. And then we've got this sort of gingerbread orange, which I'm also in love with, because we know my favourite colour is orange. It's super, super fun. So if you're doing sort of using your embossing tools to shape this or create patterns into it, then it's going to look really fantastic. If you're embossing with embossing folders, it's going to look great. We've also got coming up a really exciting new product, which is going to work perfectly with your parchment as well. It's $9.99. You're going to get 24 sheets. There's 8 colourways, and you get 3 sheets in each of those colourways. Parchment's really, really fun to craft with, and if you've never crafted with it before, in September, in our next magazine that we're doing, I think it's September, maybe August time, late August, early September, there's going to be a really cool article in crafting with parchment, so make sure that you keep your eyes peeled if you buy this, because that is something that's definitely going to inspire you. So that's £9.99 for that parchment. Then we've got, and we don't normally do this, I'm going to bring them all out just to be really annoying. We have our Christmas ribbon selection. So you can buy this online on our website. There's 3 colours, which also quite nicely match the colours from the parchment and the collection. So you know that when you're crafting like Rach was, then you want to add some ribbon, it's going to fit in really nicely. There's 8 colours, so you've got the holly, you've got the green, you've got that sky blue, purple, we've got white, we've got the royal blue, gold, of course, we have the chocolate brown, which is going to work really nice with the teddy bear, with the food image that we've got on there. We've got red, of course. So 8 colours of ribbon. You get 3 meters of each here.
That's a lot of ribbon.
Honestly, it's a lot of ribbon. So 3 meters of all of this ribbon. It's 7 millimeters wide. It's a really great sort of classic starting point, and it works nicely for adding around your card, or maybe just adding little bows to your cards. But it's going to be great for not only this Decollage collection, but for any Christmas crafting that you're going to do, because they're essential Christmas colours and there's lots of it. What I wouldn't like to do is to detangle the whole thing. I would probably put it, I think I'd put it on the table, and then I'd like do this, so I'd pull it all out until I got one colour. Do you know, like when you're at home and you're untangling like loads of wires that you've just shoved in a box because you didn't want to look at them? It's going to be one of those situations. But £9.99 if you want to get that hunky-dory Christmas ribbon selection. Do you think we can do another demo?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do another one.
What are we doing this time, Rach?
So I'm going to use the little book for this one. I'm going to make a different card. So I've got my little book pages. I've got 4 of them, and I'm going to use the snowman image. And then I've got some snowfall acetate, some mirror, and some of the adorable scoreable from the pattern packs that we've brought out on Monday.
Oh.
So and also I've got my circle nesting dies. So what we're going to do first is we're going to just make a frame. So I'm just going to stick. So I've got the largest one and then the second one down. And then I'm just going to take my mirror and I'm just going to cut just a little bit off. And then we're just going to run.
A lot of people are talking about using parchment with your crafting. We actually, when was it that it was quite a while ago, I did a demo with the parchment from Just a Note. Was that a few days? Was it a few weeks ago? Maybe 3 weeks or something, or maybe longer than that. But there was a demo where we used parchment on that show. So if you wanted to watch that back for some tips and tricks, you can do. But yeah, in the next magazine that we bring out to you, there's going to be a full project feature on how to use parchment in your crafting. So look out for that, because that's going to be really cool.
Right, so we've just cut our little silver frame. Then I'm going to cut our little books. So I'm going to use the second largest one for this. And then I'm just going to place it in the middle, like so. Now, because these pages are quite thin, I'm going to cut 2 at a time. And in hope that they don't move. Right.
You're cutting 2 at a time?
I am, yeah.
Oh. I think you'll be fine.
I think it will work. It normally.
I mean, that machine's pretty hefty.
It is. We have faith in it.
It's done it.
It's
Look at
done
that.
it. Easy.
No problem at all.
Right. So we're going to put them on there, and I'm just going to cut these 2 down as well. So we've got 4 little pages. So I'm just going to line it up just so that I'm cutting the same image. And then I'm just going to run that through again. And then this is going to be decoupaged up. So we're just going to cut into our snowman, because they're so easy to decoupage up, these little books. And I think it's really clear, like the lines that you can cut.
Some more questions. So Shirley said, how do you secure parchment? My tip for that is you can use our construction glue, and that dries really clear, so you can't actually see it, and it's great for your parchment. Or if you're adding toppers on front of it, what you can do is you can line your parchment onto the page, but don't stick it down. Pop all your toppers, your elements, your ribbon borders, your sentiments, whatever you're adding, pop them on top, glue them down, and then lift your parchment over, and then add foam pads or tape to those sections so you know you won't be able to see it. That's something that I like to do when I'm using parchment, because you really can't see it.
Or if you are like doing it on the card front, you can like cut it so you make like a tab and then like place it inside the card. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So then you can't see anything. But I think glue does work really well.
Yeah, the construction glue is really good for working with parchment and for working on acetate as well.
Yeah.
When they first came out, we did a nice little experiment to see just how well you could use them together, and they do really work really nicely together.
Right, so I'm just cutting out my different layers. So I've got my base layer. So now I've got the snowman, all 3 of them, and now I'm going to go in and just cut the 2 on the left. And then we're going to, our final one will be just a little baby snowman. these are also good as well. So at home, I like to scrapbook, and they're so good, the little books, for scrapbooking. Like if you just cut out like the images,
elements that you want.
Yeah, and then you've got like a little element to go on your scrapbook page as well.
I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah,
and because they're in paper as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so easy to cut down.
Oh,
they're
definitely.
So easy to use, but for using, and if you're replicating the same page, or you're doing like a winter page, or maybe you're scrapbooking about like what happened through Christmas, then this is going to be really fun because each page can have a different sort of theme depending on what elements you use.
So I'm just going to quickly just put some foam pads on the back of these. So I've also got some larger ones as well, which we'll put on. And then we're just going to layer it up. So our rectangle page has now become a circle topper.
I think it's a really good way of showing how you can use your dies with these images to make something completely different, because I don't think a lot of people necessarily do it. They can be a little bit scared of die cutting.
Definitely.
And creating different shapes from your little book pages, but you can make toppers like Rachel's doing here. There's so much you can do with your little books. Don't be worried about just cutting into them and experimenting. I think when especially if you're buying this ultimate bundle, your little book is practically free. So you can
so many different pages.
You can get really crafty with it and make loads of different things.
Right, so now our topper is all decollaged up. I'm just going to move that out of the way. I've got my scoreboard. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the Snowfall acetate. First of all, we're going to cut this to 5 by 10 inches, and then we're going to make a 5 by 5 card blank.
From your acetate?
From my acetate.
Ah.
So we're going to score this at 5 inches.
I love scoring acetate.
It's so fascinating. I love scoring mirri. I think mirri when it's scored. It's great. Right, so there's our little card blank. So just move that out of the way. So what we're going to do with this, so I've got that frame. So I want this to go on the front. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of construction glue just going round. And then just going to move it to there so I can see.
Make sure it's in the middle.
Yeah, that's the one thing that it's like nothing's ever in the middle. Right, there we go. So we've got that. So we're just going to put that to one side and just wait for it to dry just a little bit. And so I'm going to get another piece of silver mirri, because when I stick the topper inside, on the back you're going to see all the workings. So we're just going to cut this down, I think. Let's just double check with our topper. So I'm going to cut it to 4.5 inches to start with, and then we can always cut it a bit smaller if we need to. And then I've also got the adorable scoreable.
Doesn't this work perfectly
It
with
really
your
does.
acetate?
I love this adorable scoreable. The patterns in it are so different.
These are our adorable scoreable pattern packs that launched on Monday. You can find them on our website right now. There's a great selection of Christmas patterns for all your different crafting, but you can see how you can mix and match them with your collections when you're at home in this demo that Rachel's doing.
Right, so we're just going to stick that together, and then we're going to bring in our card blank again, and then I'm just going to put a bit of construction glue on the back of my little book image. Now I'm just going to make sure that it's near enough central to that frame, but because we are using construction glue,
You want that wiggle room.
Wiggle it. Right, so I'm happy with that. Now we're going to turn it to the back. So now we can see all that glue. So we're going to hide that. So we're going to just put a little bit more on the back. And then we're just going to put that to the middle. Let's just
And you would
push it
never
down.
know.
You would never know.
You would never know.
Right, and there we go.
That is so clever. What a really inventive way of using that together and showing people how you can do it and hide all your little workings.
And you could even, if you've got like a little sentiment spare, or even from the Essential, then you could just put a little sentiment on the front or inside.
It's really cute. I love that.
Thank
What
you.
a really nice idea. Thanks, Rach. So we've got one more thing to show you before we are finished for the day. So let's have a look at these, and then we're going to get another demonstration from Rachel. So these are a brand new concept from the wonderful mind of Stacey Algamri. These are some texture dies. So there's 4 different sets, and the idea is, so you get some dies which cut in to your projects, and they cut in beautiful snowflakes or beautiful patterns that you can use as backgrounds. What we've created here are texture dies. So they're cut-in dies, but they don't remove anything. So what you are left with is the effect of using an embossing folder, but the image is flat. And they're absolutely beautiful. There's 4 in total, 4 that are not so specific for Christmas, so depending on how you colour them, you could use them at all different times of the year. So the first one I'm going to show you is the gorgeous gingham. So you can see here your die set on exactly what it cuts out, and then this is the die itself. So the die has little grooves in it, it has little flat plates which are going to put more pressure onto your cardstock, and then once you've actually cut it out, you can see here on this example, if I hold it a certain way for you, that it cuts that beautiful pattern into the cardstock. These are 4x6 in size. However, Stacey's designed them so you can tile them side to side and up and down in case you want to create these beautiful textures on larger images. It's a really inventive way of die cutting.
I've never seen anything like this before.
I haven't. I've never seen it used before, but the end results are really, really pretty. And it looks fabulous. It really, really does. So that is your gingham. Then next up we have the scattered holly. So these are all $14.99 each. On this one you have some really beautiful cut-in details. All of these little holly elements that you see all lift up. All of these smaller little sprigs, all those round petals lift up. So you can create something that's a bit more 3D, but they don't come out of the card blank. But it does look absolutely stunning on the project. So this is it die cut from some of our Ink Me cardstock. You can cut this from Miri though, you can cut it from acetate, so you can see how those images there, these little cutouts can lift up and you can create so much more dimension. I created, if we can get to it, this card in a demonstration on yesterday's show.
Wow, that's lovely.
And I cut it out and I've coloured it in using my brush pens, and then I've just lifted some of these elements up so you can see them, and I've used that with a little book page. There's so much you can do with them though. They are a really, really pretty addition to your craft stash. If you've never used them before, like we hadn't until a couple of months ago, they're really fun to work with and to try new ideas with. They're lots and lots of fun. The third one I'm going to show you is our snowflake sparkle. So this one has really nice line detailed snowflake elements to it. Again, you can tile it so it can be bigger, it can be smaller. It looks really nice when you just cut it from one card and then ink over it, because all of the ink seeps to these cut lines. It's going to make them a lot more prominent. You're going to be able to see them a lot more. This one's a little harder to show actually. Can you see the detailing in that?
Yeah.
It is really, really something special. It's a great, great idea that has been put together, and it works really, really well. The last one is my favourite. This is the wonderful woolly, and you can see there that it is a replica of sort of like that really nice woolly jumper pattern, and it's absolutely great. So you can do so much with these. You can cut out little elements, you can layer them up, you can colour them in all the different sections, so you've got different coloured patterns. You can ink onto these. You can this one particularly, once you've cut into it, you can stretch the paper a little bit so you can see the colours that are underneath it. It's really cool. Jane's used it in this example here to make a little gift box, and she's used it on all of the different edges, which just adds that extra sort of luxury to the box that she's created. And then Rebecca has made a card, a big sort of like jumper card with a ribbon across there using some really nice brown tones. And then I wanted to show you, if I can get to it, there was a card that I did yesterday, which was quite, I used the same little book page as you, Rach.
Oh, wow.
But what I've done here is I've cut it twice from Adorable Scorable, and then I've cut one layer off, as you can see, and then I stuck it over the top so it creates more of a 3D image to your die. It's really cool. But yes, there's 4 of them. They're $14.99 individually. You can buy any 2 for £24.98, but we do have the whole set available for you for £49.96. So if you want to get all 4 of those new dies, you want to experiment, you want to see what they're all about, then you can get them for £49.96. So obviously, if you're a member of the Hunky Dory Crafts Club, which is free to join, you're also going to get 5% discount on that. But if you do buy it, think that not only are you going to get those dies, but you're also going to get the element sheet, you're going to get the cardstock and inserts, and you're going to get that paper pad that's all available for you for today only. It's going to stop at midnight, and our joy of Christmas will be over. There'll be no more festive fun.
There'll be no more.
So you have to make sure you get into that today. Rach, you're going to do something with these dies, aren't you? I'm really excited, actually.
Apart from, I forgot to bring in my
what do we need?
Cardstock.
What
for the
cardstock
teddy bears.
Okay,
we
can give you that.
Yours, please?
I'll steal it.
All right, so I'll start doing this first. So I've got a 6x6 card. Now we're going to just cut. So I've got some Matte-tastic, some green. So we're going to cut that to 6x6. Thank you.
It's okay.
I was like, I'm missing something. I looked at it, thought, I'm missing something. I knew I was. Right. So that's going to be our backing. So we're going to just put that to one side, and we're just going to focus on the teddy bear image. So I'm going to cut this to 4x4 inches. And then I've got a piece of gold. So we're just going to cut that so it's a little above 4 inches, just so we have that little bit of a gold border. Going round. So we're just going to stick this together. So I'm just using some construction glue again. Now I've got my image of my teddy bear. So we're not going to use the actual top of it. We're just going to use some of the different layers. So first of all, I'm just going to cut the little bit off the bottom, just so then it's straight and it fits just at the bottom there. So
that's cute.
I love the teddy bear one. It's so sweet.
You've used like the tiniest bit of cardstock, but it looks really nice.
And there's so much left from this as well, so you're barely not touching anything. So we're just going to do a few different layers. We don't want it too layered up, but we want a little bit on. So we're going to stick that one on top. Now I have cut the bottom one down, which is something that I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to go in with my scissors and just roughly cut across there. This is probably something I should have done before I actually stuck it down, but that's fine. We've got the one underneath just as a guide.
Oh, because you need to make it square.
Yeah, I wanted it
so
so
easy
it, like,
to do that though.
Yeah,
it does not take a lot, does it, to just like ping those little
definitely not
bits off.
Right, and then we've just got...
And I would say to
Ready
people as well,
space.
don't be scared about cutting into your layers and changing them up a bit, because you can do that, especially if you're going to stick them directly onto the card blanks, because the card blanks are obviously different shapes to the base layers and the elements. So don't be scared to get your scissors or your trimmer and just cut them to the straight level that you want them to be at.
Right, and then we're just going to stick his hat on. And then I'm just going to put some foam pads on the back of this, just so then it's ready to go onto our card. Do I have any large ones? No. Let's just stick some of these smaller ones on. Right, and then we're going to just put Teddy to one side. So I'm going to put a little sentiment on him at the end as well. So I've got now my die. So these dies, they can be tiled as well. So we're going to do that. So I've got a 6x6 card piece here. So we're just going to carefully just place our die to the edge. And then I'm just going to tape it down to just secure it. And then I've got my very, very large Gemini to do this. So I'm just going to run that through our die cutting machine. And then we're going to go back and then we're going to move the die over. So then we're going to cut that as well.
Do you know, yesterday I had a really embarrassing moment on Creating
Oh, did you?
So it was my last show, 6 o'clock, and they use the Pro Cut down at Creating Craft, which we don't have here in the office. So whenever I go down there, and I've not been down there for a while, I'm always like, oh, I don't know what plate combination I need here. And I was so confident that in the earlier show, I had the plate combination right. That I told the my floor manager to take that plate away. I didn't need that plate. It was just in my way. It was too much.
Right.
And then I came to die cutting, and Dan said to me, he went, "No, you're wrong." He went, "You know, that's not right."
But he's like, no.
He said, "I've read the manual, Natalie. I know exactly what you need." I was like, "No, it's fine. I did it before. It'll be right. It'll go through. Not a problem." And then I went to put it in the die cutting machine, and my plates were too thick and they wouldn't go.
Oh no.
So then I had to wait because the floor manager had to go and get the plate that I told her I didn't need. It was very embarrassing.
Keeping them on their feet.
Natalie 0, Dan 1. A different Dan this time though.
Too many Dans.
Too many Dans.
So I've just carefully took that out. So because with this one, the little holly leaves, they do stick up. You just got to be careful when you do take the die off the sheet, because you don't want to rip them. So then I've just placed it to the other side, and then we're just going to run that through our machine again. So just run that through, and then that will have cut the other side as well.
Emma said, what is the thickness of the foam pads you're using? I'm guessing they were our 2mm foam pads.
2mm, yeah.
2mm, so they're, we've got them in 2mm or 1mm, so depending on how thick you want your decollage to look, there's those different sizes, but I think as a standard, most of the crafters here do use the 2mm just because they look amazing. It looks so good.
So, again, we're just going to carefully...
The dies are really easy to line up as well,
They
Sharon.
really are.
They really, really are. Stacey's put like little grooves in that you can match up. There's on the knitted one, you can actually, depending on how you want to line it up, you can stick the one of the sections actually into the other one.
Oh, okay.
So that they go over the top.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
You can do that. The same, I think, with the gingham. You can kind of mix and match them, but they are really quite, when they go into your dies, they go into your dies.
Yes.
So it is quite fiddly to remove them off, so just be careful when you're doing that. But when you do it, especially with this one, because you've got lots of little bits that pop up, it looks really, really good.
It does look really good. So because I've put it on the edge, I have still got some in the die, but that's fine. We can take that out in a second. So we're just going to simply just stick this to our card blank.
It just gives so much more, I wouldn't say dimension, but like interest to the card.
Yeah.
Because it's just something totally different. You've got another layer of pattern, a texture to the finished card, really. But they look really, really cool, and it's just a really nice example of the different things that you can make. But yeah, if you're gonna sort of extend them, then just be careful when you're gonna do that, because they do sometimes, especially with this one, because they are really sort of,
They're really detailed,
really
aren't
deep,
they?
these lines that you can sort of pick out these bits, but you can do what Rach is doing here and just pop the little bits back in.
Right, so we're just going to, now I would normally use my poker tool, but I actually haven't got that with me. So we're just going to very carefully just use this craft knife. And then just put these back in. I think if you've got like the little books as well, it's an instant background.
It is. You don't really have to do anything, do you? You can just die cut
it out
with your texture dies, and then stick your background on some gold mirror, make a topper, your background, your little book on some mirror, make a little topper for yourself, and then away you go. You can just pop that on a card.
Right, so we just stuck them back in, and then we're going to get a square topper. So he's going to go nicely in the middle. So I've also got a bit of ink as well. So I've got Rainforest Green. Now we're just going to very carefully just go round the outside of this. And this, you might not be able to see it, but this will pick up.
It will. It's going to
a little bit more of that pattern. We'll just stick that one back. Oh, that's a little fiddly one. I think if you're doing this at home, just wait for the little bits to dry. We'll just dab around them. Like so. So you can ink that as much as you want. And then we're just going to stick our little topper into the middle. Now I'm also going to get a sentiment as well from our Deco-Large sheet. So we'll put that on after.
Which one are you going for, the big one?
I think I'm going to go just for the little one.
Okay.
And I'm going to take one of these little border strips off as well and just stick that to the top of that square, in a square. Put it all the way across. So I'm just going to use some double-sided tape, just stick this down.
Kathy said, how do you stop your tape indenting into the cardstock or mirror when you put it through the die cut machine? If it's indenting your mirror, you might have too many plates in there.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't necessarily do that. It should just hold on to it. So maybe your plate combination you're using, if you're using the magnetic sheet, maybe take that one out and see if you're still going to get the same sort of cut. And then you won't have sort of those indents. But normally, if you are getting that with your die cuts, then it's because there's too much pressure in the machine. So just test taking your magnetic sheet out, or if you've got different plates, look at the manual for which bits that you can remove.
Yeah, I mean, if your tape is still really sticky, you could always like put it on the back of your hand, and then that will take some of the sticky off. So then it's not gonna
ruin the card.
Much. Right, and there we go.
I love that.
So I don't know whether you can see that pattern.
You definitely can, especially with the extra green. It's really shining through on there. But a really nice example of how you can just add it to your cards to make something really, really special. Thanks, Rach. You've done 3 really cool demos there. I've loved watching you do that. I was very interested while watching those. I was like, oh, what's she going to do now? So thank you to everyone for joining us today. We'll do a little recap of what we've shown you. First of all, we've got our Ultimate Decollage collection, $39.97. It saves you £10 in total, which means you're getting the little book practically free. But if you want to buy everything individually, you can also do that. If you just want the Decollage, then you can go online, and that's £29.99. We have our insert collection for you at £9.99. Our little book, £9.99. And then we've got some extra added elements as well. If you want to get hold of that parchment, the parchment is £9.99. The ribbon that we've got for you, £9.99. It's like the £9.99 show. We've also got those selection of box frames, box envelopes. Emily's moved on a bit too far there. Box frames, box envelopes that we have available for you. And of course, those amazing texture dies. There we go. That we showed you lastly. They're $49.96. If you want to get them all together, you can buy any two though. You can buy any two for $24.98, or just by themselves they are £14.99. So as always, if you want to get them in a bundle, if you want to get them together, that is the best way to do so, because you're going to be saving some money. But I think that's all we've got to show you today. I'm going to repeat the Win It Weekly question one more time for you, because I love a chance for people to be winning on these competitions. This week's question, you need to like, share and comment on our video with Queen Elizabeth II is a trained what? Is it A, a bricklayer, B, a nurse, or C, a mechanic? So get your comments in with your answers, like, share on this video for your chance to be winning the Popper Topper Pad Ultimate Collection 2, and we'll announce the winners on Friday's show. We've got a new show this weekend. I'm trying to think. No, we don't. Do we? I'm confused. I've confused myself. We do have a new show this weekend, but I'm getting far too ahead of myself. So today at 4:30, go head over to Create and Craft for more inspiration for what you can be making with your Decollage collection, because Pauline's there. She's going to do some fantastic demos. It's just another way of being inspired by our Hunky Dory demonstrator. So make sure you tune in. And then at the weekend, on Saturday the 17th, Laura's down there again with a brand new selection of glimmer mists and some Christmas stamps, so make sure you're tuning in for that as well. We're going to add the Christmas topper selection just up here, wrong way all the time, just up here to our rollover box, so someone could be winning that on Friday's show. And then next up on Friday, tune in to see what Kat's going to be creating with our brand new glimmer mist and designer selection stamps. We're going to give you a little sneak preview of those before they launch on Create and Craft. So make sure you're here to see exactly what you can be making with those stamps and those glimmer mists. Dan's going to be here as well, I think, so it's going to be super, super fun. But until then, have a wonderful Wednesday, have a wonderful Thursday, and we'll be back here on Friday for you to join us for another Hunky Dory TV show. Thank you for watching. Bye.